What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Average Bros Media and the first full video on the new 350Z. So we came out to this location that I've wanted to shoot a car at since I saw it, and with the new car on the channel, I figured it was the perfect opportunity to go shoot the 350. But we've got it looking good over here. So once I'm done, I'm gonna go back over here on this bridge, which is gonna have the sun setting in the background, and shoot a banger cinematic for you guys. But first, I just wanted to show you, this car has an ISR catback on it. And usually I'm not a fan of how like the 350 sound. I just don't think the VQ sounds that great. But I really like how the system sounds. It's not too loud. Pretty stoked on it. It actually has a pretty nice deep tone to it. But anyways, let's get on to that 6 cinematic of the car. Let's drop that edit now. Alright, you guys, welcome back to Average Bros HQ. We've got the car parked in the garage here. I hope you guys enjoyed that edit. Just from looking at the raw clips on the camera, I was super stoked that we got to shoot the car there, and I think it's going to be a banger. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But let's dive into this car, why I bought this car specifically, and what I have planned for it in the long run to get it drift ready and out on the track. So when I sold the 240, the reason I sold it was to buy a 350Z. And what I originally wanted to find was something that was a 2005Z or newer, because in 2005 they upgraded the transmission and it got stronger synchros. So it was a CD009 with stronger synchros, some more robust and well-built transmission. So for me that was a must. I wasn't going to buy a car that was older than 2005. Now, ideally I wanted to find one that was a 2007 or 2008 because of that upgraded HR motor. But as I started to look around, check out a few cars, make offers on cars, it was looking like it was going to be about $2 or $3 grand more to buy one of those 2007 to 2008 models. And for me, as I was looking to get my first drift car and just get out on the track and start drifting, I couldn't really justify spending that much more money on the car, especially when we kind of take into consideration what I bought this car for. So I'd seen this car on Craigslist and was watching the price drop on it a little bit, and hadn't reached out to the owner because, like I said, I was looking for an 07 or 08. But I continued to see this on Craigslist. It was super clean. There was a ton of pictures, more information on the car than most ads had. So I was kind of curious about it and reached out to the owner. Now this one does have some light modifications done to it, which I really wanted to find a stock car so I could build it like exactly the way that I wanted to from the beginning. But after I saw the car and kind of how clean it was, I was open to the idea of it. All the mods that are done on it are stuff that I was going to have to do anyway, so it just saves me a little bit of money there. And like I said, it's only lightly modified. There's still tons of stuff that I need to do to the car and put my own style on it. And it just gave me a little bit more money to kind of focus on more stuff that I want to do to this car. And so for me, it was kind of a win-win. And I've had the car for like about a week now, and I'm unbelievably hyped on it. Super, super stoked on this car. So let me show you guys a little bit of what's been done to this car. All right, so starting with the exterior of the car, obviously you can see it's got an aftermarket bumper on it. This is the Shine, I believe it's Shine Auto Works, the Nismo style bumper. It's fiberglass. I really like the look of it. I think it makes the front end of the car look really nice. Long term, I would like to get a polyurethane kit for it because the typical stuff with fiberglass, there's some cracking there. Not a big deal, that's gonna happen out on the track, but just long term, I think a polyurethane kit is the way to go on this car. Moving around to this side, it's got some Vertex side skirts on it as well. Paint match, that stuff looks great. And then you can see that it's got wheels on the car as well. So the fronts are Carbine Racing. It's an 18 by 10.5 with I think a plus 22 offset, if I'm remembering correctly, and 265 tires on there. I actually really like the look of those wheels. And then in the back, we've got some Ray Graham lights. These are the 57X, also an 18 by 10.5, 265 tire. And I think these ones are plus 12 if I'm remembering correctly, but I may have mixed up the offsets between the fronts and the rears. And then move around to the back, real basic stuff, but just makes the car look good. We've got some 07, 08 LED tail lights on there. Just kind of updates the rear end a little bit. It's got a Vertex carbon fiber wing that's been paint matched. Looks really good and just kind of adds to the profile of the car. That single exit ISR catback that I showed you guys earlier, I just think looks really nice. Kind of fits the back end of that car well. All right, so getting into the suspension on the car, that's where most of the modification that the previous owner did is on the car. So it's got coilovers on it. They're Fortune Autos with 14K springs. Then he did some control arms in the rear. So it's got a Voodoo tow arm, I believe, and an SPL camber arm, a Sickie aluminum diff bushing. So just real basic stuff, all stuff that I want for drifting anyway, which was kind of like a selling point for me on the car. Also has upgraded rotors in there. So those are R1 concept rotors with new pads on there. So that's good. And then we'll be doing brake lines on the car down the road. But yeah, that's all the modifications that are done on the car. Like I said, it's just really lightly modified, all mods that I would have been doing anyway to get this car track ready. But let me hop inside the interior real quick and show you how clean this car is inside. All right, so overall, the interior on this car is spotless. It's entirely stock, nothing's really modified in here other than the shift knob, which I've got a new shift knob on the way, so we'll swap that out. But you know, one of the things that I really liked when I saw this car was that all of the pieces that are usually like destroyed in here, so like all along here, these like door panels that are usually just like incredibly scuffed up, were all in good shape. They've never been painted. So just like all like little stuff like that that just shows that the car has been well maintained. It was a big thing for me, but yeah, completely stock in here, but that'll change soon. All right, so the very first part of phase one is gonna be the seats. So if you're an OG on the channel, you've seen these seats before because I bought them probably over a year ago now to put in the 240, and they've since been sitting in my closet. So you better believe that I'm absolutely hyped to finally get these in a car. They're beautiful, so let me show you real quick. All right, so you got two of these bad boys. Woo! So these are the Bride Zeta 3s. They're black with the black Bride pattern down the center. And we got two of those, obviously one for the driver, one passenger side. And I am hyped to get those things in the car. So that'll be one of the first things we do. And then to go along with that, we've got this box back here, which is a harness bar. So I'm gonna pull this out of the box real quick. This is gonna be the first part of phase one. I'm gonna get this installed and then the seats. So I wanna unbox this and show it to you guys real quick. So this is the graffiti harness bar. I got this from Injuku Racing. So this is gonna be the first thing we get installed in the car. So next week's video we'll be covering how to install this so that we can get the harnesses and the seats in and start tackling that interior stuff, which is a big portion of the phase one stuff. Come over here, and I've been hoarding a little bit of parts. I'm calling this thing the box of fun. So got a bunch of stuff in here that we're gonna get installed in the phase one of this car. Two short racing harnesses, which are gonna go obviously with the harness bar and the Bride seats that you guys just saw. We've got a Grip Royal. This is the Night model steering wheel. So this is gonna go in the car with an NRG quick release, which you can see right there. Now I bought this nameless Hydro back when I was building the 240. This is gonna be kind of phase 1.5. So I don't need this like initially to get drifting. I really wanna practice with just clutch kicks and that type of stuff to get familiar with the car and like the physics of drifting. But then we'll be installing this with its own separate rear caliper setup. So we got a couple other boxes of cool stuff in here. So I'm gonna pull those out really quick to show you guys what's in those boxes, and I'll see you in a sec. All right, so the first box is a box from Street Faction. So these are new seat brackets for the 350Z. I had a set of these seat brackets for the 240 and absolutely loved them. I think they're a super good quality product. So when I got the new car, I definitely wanted to use the same bracket. So I picked up a set of the 350 ones. So you guys will see an install on this stuff soon. I'm not gonna pull it all out, but I'll show you guys definitely more in depth on the install video. But these ones I did decide to go with a slider on this. So because the car, like if someone's gonna be driving it, if I want my brother drive it or whatever, that we can move the seats around. It's not a fixed seat. I figured that was the best way to go with these brackets. So looking forward to getting those installed. All right, so the second box is a box from our friends over at Chase Bays. When I was building the 240s, Chase Bays was kind enough to jump on board with that build and give me a discount on some parts, which I greatly appreciate. And then when I decided to bail on that project, they happily swapped out the parts. So we got a bunch of 350Z parts here from them. But the cool thing is they're also helping you guys out as well. So if you're looking at any Chase Bays products, use code AVERAGEBROS at checkout, and I'll put that discount code in the description below as well. But they make stuff for 350Zs, 240s, BMWs. I think they even have some Subaru product. So if you haven't already, definitely check them out. But as far as the parts that I got from them, this is a lot of stuff that's gonna be done on that phase one part of this build like I was talking about. Stuff to just kind of increase the performance and reliability of this car while drifting. So we've got new brake lines front and rear. A big one for this will be a power steering cooler that I got from them. So we're gonna get that installed because the power steering fluid tends to heat up while you're drifting. We've got hydro brake line that we'll do with that phase 1.5 that I was showing you guys on the handbrake earlier. Let's see here, what else do we have? And then we've got a radiator overflow tank. So the cool thing about this is while you're drifting, I guess it's a pretty common issue for the radiator fluid to kind of bubble up over. So they've come up with a design that helps eliminate that. So we'll be getting this installed as well. And then the last thing that you're really not seeing here that I don't have yet, that'll be part of that phase one build, is going to be an oil cooler. So kind of similar to the power steering cooler, oil tends to get hot while you're driving. We want to make sure we're keeping our oil temps low to avoid any issues with the engine. So I'm going to be picking up one of those. But I think that pretty much covers most of the parts in the phase one build. So a quick recap on the phase one part of the build on the 350. We've got a set of Bride Zeta 3s going in the car. We've got a harness bar. We've got harnesses, new brake lines, power steering cooler, oil cooler, the coolant overflow tank. the quick release steering wheel, and the one big thing that I forgot to mention is we have bash bars coming from Street Faction for the front and rear of this car as well. And that should pretty much conclude like phase one, which is what I want it to be, like getting this car track ready. And it's the day after Thanksgiving right now, so my goal is to have all that stuff done by the time I go home for Christmas, which is in like 4 weeks. So 4 weeks from now, I want to make sure I have all that stuff done so that when I get back from Seattle, that we can actually get out on the track and start learning how to drift. Now, somewhere in between phase 1 and 2, we'll do the handbrake, like I talked about, with its own separate rear caliper setup. I'd like to do a new stereo in this car as well. Not at all essential to drifting, but I've always had a nice stereo in my car, and definitely want to do that for this so we can be bumping some tunes while we're drifting. And then phase 2, let's talk about phase 2 a little bit. All right, so for phase 2 of this car, I would say it's a little bit shorter list at this point, but I'm sure I'll probably add stuff to it as we go. As of right now, there's 2 primary things that I want to focus on. I want to get some sort of kit for this car, a body kit for a drift car. I think going with like a polyurethane style kit is the way to go that can hold up to the beating. So we'll probably go some sort of KBD kit for this car. Definitely front bumpers and skirts, maybe a rear bumper. We'll take a look at that. And then an angle kit. So I don't really think that I need an angle kit right off the bat. In fact, most people that I've talked to have said, don't get an angle kit right off the bat. Learn the car as is, kind of like hone your skills that way. And then once you've progressed a little bit, then look into an angle kit. So we'll take a look at like PBM, or potentially like a WiseFab kit down the road. So that's phase 2 of the car. And that's kind of what I have planned for it now, and I'm sure we'll fit some more small stuff in kind of along the way. But first and foremost, like I just want to get out on the track and learn to drift. All right, well, I'm gonna close out this week's video here, but I'm hoping you guys enjoyed getting to see a full edit on this 350Z, talk a little bit more about what's been done to it already, why I bought this car, as well as the build plans. I can tell you guys, I am incredibly stoked on this car. I'm so looking forward to the build on it, and even more so looking forward to learning how to drift and sharing that experience with you guys. And I don't know what it is, I'm just feeling like re-energized, stoked on the new car, stoked to be bringing you guys more content to the channel, and really looking forward to getting back into this with this kind of like fresh energy and kind of make the channel more in the direction that I want to take it, and just like be bringing you guys high quality content. That's like my #1 priority. Be bringing you guys videos that I would want to watch, but I'm kind of rambling at this point. So until next week, you guys know the drill. If you're not already subscribed, you want to see more of this 350 as well as our other builds on the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It only takes a sec, and I will see you guys next week.